Hello, welcome back to Bugle White Reps. I'm Martin, and welcome to the start of our 10th edition content. So, if you're like me, maybe just now starting to look into 10th edition, seeing all these new rule changes, not knowing what any of it means. Maybe see other channels popped up with videos saying this is broken, this is broken. So what I'm going to do in this video, it's just a short little video, and we're going to run through some of the new keywords and abilities in 10th edition 40k, such as critical hits, critical wounds, what else I've got there? Lethal hits, anti-cross, sustained hits, and devastating wounds. All these again appear on the new data sheets, and you may think, what they do, I don't know. So we're going to run through each of them individually, and I'm going to show you examples of what each of them means. So let's get on into it. Okay, so the first thing we need to run through is what is a critical hit and what is a critical wound. So these abilities by themselves don't actually do anything, but they will affect other abilities which we'll be looking at. So a critical hit is basically an unmodified hit roll of a 6. So say we have Mr. Orc here, he has 6 attacks, he rolls his dice, say this one's a 6, so that is a critical hit. A critical hit can never be modified. So if you got +1 hit, that 5 does not become a 6. Only unmodified rolls of 6s are critical hits. So then if we go to wound rolls, roll our dice. Again, any 6s to wound, which are unmodified, or an unmodified roll of a 6 is a critical wound. So critical hits and critical wounds are unmodified rolls of 6s. These do not do anything by themselves, but we will look at what they do next. Okay, so the first one we are going to look at is something called lethal hits. So lethal hits means any critical hits auto wound. So as we looked at a minute ago, critical hits are unmodified rolls of 6s to hit. So if we roll our dice, so we got 2 6s in there, which means because they're lethal hits, these then auto wound to target. So what it means is, say these then hit, normally we still have to wound. Say we wound these 2, they then have 4 saves to make. Yep, nice and easy, you see. So lethal hits means 6s to hit, auto wound the target. So next up, we're going to look at the anti-keyword. So what anti means is, it will have either anti-tank or anti-infantry, and it will have either like a 2+ or a 4+. This means against that keyword type, that will wound on that number, and that will be a critical hit. So we can take an example here. The haywire bike shooting into a dreadnought. We're going to say it has 4 attacks, and it has the anti-tank on a 4+. So you roll to hit on our normal ballistic skill, say 3+. So you all hit. We then ignore the strength, and we're going on the anti-tank of a 4+. So you just need 4s to wound. So I have 2 of them. So they wound, and because it's the anti-keyword, they count as critical wounds. Which, as you remember from a minute ago, critical wounds are unmodified rolls of 6s. So these are also counting as critical wounds because the anti-keyword. So the next keyword we're going to look at is sustained hits. So sustained hit is basically the old version of Daka or exploding 6s. So if a unit has sustained 1, so say for example we got Orc here attacking Tyrannid, he has 4 attacks. His weapon has sustained 1. So if I roll my dice, we didn't get any 6s, let's try again. So say it all hits and he got a 6. Because of sustained hits, that then comes one additional hit. If his weapon was sustained hits 2, that 6 would explode into 2 additional hits. We then go to our normal wounding with all the dice. So like strength 10, strength 5, 2s, for example. Okay, so it's extra hits for 6s, depending on the number of sustained. Sustained 1, 1 extra. Sustained 2, 2 extra. 2 extra. Nice and simple, yeah? Nice. Okay, and then finally we're going on to devastating runes. So devastating runes changes critical rune rolls into mortal runes. So again, these example here. So say this toy man is attacking this jet bike, has 4 attacks. So it hits on 2s. There's a critical hit, which does nothing at this stage. Now wounding on say 2s, for example, and say we get a 6. So because that's a 6, and he has devastating wounds, this damage then occurs to mortal runes. So you say each of these attacks are 2 damage each. That then becomes 2 mortal runes to that jet bike. So what we do here, the jet bike still makes it 3 armor saves, say 4 ups, fails 1, so takes say 2 wounds. And then once all these attacks are done, the mortal runes then go through last. So you say this is 2 mortal runes. The jet bike does not get a save or invulnerable save. The only way it can ignore this is through feel no pains. So if a model had a feel no pain ability, it can roll 2 dice, and if it had the ability of a feel no pain on 6 plus, it could try and ignore on 6s, which it doesn't, so it would then kill that jet bike. Hopefully that makes some sense. Okay, so that's it for this video. Hopefully that helped, and I helped it stick in your head a bit more, seeing it in effect. I'm going to try and do some more of these videos on some of the new rules for 10th edition this week and next week, before we start banging out 10th edition battle reports, which are coming very soon. Disclaimer, obviously the models I've used here, the abilities I was calling out, I was just using it as examples. Don't take my word off what abilities I was saying they had. For example, make sure you actually check the data sheets that are coming out. But just don't go and buy them off Games Workshop, because there's so many errors in them. Just use them online or print them yourself. Don't go and pay £20 for the cards, because there's 4 mistakes. That's it, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers and go on.